Good morning, dear friends. What a blessing to be with you today. Here we are with another study of the book Right Path by the Spirit Emmanuel through the blessed mediumship of Francisco Candido Xavier. What a blessing to be with you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's a good way to start our mornings with an inspirational message from the superior spirits who bring us so many teachings every day. We just have to open our hearts and minds to listen to their counsels. And today's message is titled Uneasiness and Complications. Let's talk about what Emmanuel is going to teach us about being uneasy. Emmanuel says, quote, the terrestrial existence in essence is a stage of the imperishable spirit in the field of physical forces that are in constant mutation. Hence, the complexities it presents. Unquote. First comment. Do you know that you are an imperishable spirit? You are an immortal spirit having this terrestrial existence. You, as imperishable, as a nature of being immortal, your spirit progresses but does not get destroyed with the passing of this physical life. Now, the physical experience is changing. He says in physical forces that are in constant change. While our spirit, we as spirits grow and learn and evolve, we are still imperishable. We cannot be destroyed. Yet the physical forces around us, even if you think about the law of preservation, the law of destruction in the Spirit's book, the physical manifestation of this physical body, this physical earth, the animals, the plants, the mineral kingdom, the bacteria, the virus is constantly changing. Your physical body will change throughout its lifetime. And hopefully you as a person will change as well. Hopefully we are today kinder, more indulgent. Those are qualities and abilities that we can acquire. Those are tokens we can use, things we can use in our daily lives, but your nature as a spirit remains. You are imperishable. So stick around with us. If you're listening to this and wondering how on earth I'm going to make it, why is it worth it is? You matter. Your spirit is here to have this terrestrial experience. And he says, hence the complexity it presents. We are complex, multi-millenary, multimodal, multidisciplinary beings that have all a lot going on for us at any given time. But this precious physical existence is sacred. Yet our spirit remains even after we die. Then we can take solace in the fact that our loved ones could be with us if they're still in the spiritual realm. That today I can build a life and learn and grow and evolve so that I can reap those seeds that I sow today of goodness in the spiritual realm. So whatever we're going through today, it shall pass. Let's continue. Emmanuel will continue by saying, quote, as a student attending school, the creature receives lessons on earth through problems, difficulty overcome, experience acquired. From this proceeds the imperative of serenity of discernment in all of the observations and decisions that we have to assume in the world's harvest, unquote. He says, as a student, when we're students, we learn. And he says we receive lessons to learn through problems, through opportunities of love, as in service as well. So when we have difficulties and problems, those are opportunities that God has granted, sacred opportunities for you and I to learn. And that's how we receive the lesson. It's up to you and I to know that these shall pass, and have the serenity of discernment to learn how to discern when we observe things, when we observe our own selves, and we make decisions to work through those difficulties and problems. The discernment to know I am more than the physical. This is an experience. This is for learning. The discernment to realize that you, as a child of God, is on this planet to learn, just like everybody else. He will continue and give us some examples. Quote, how many afflictions are due solely to invigilance, whether in deviations of reasoning or in the exaggerations of sensibility? In all moments of poignancy and harshness in daily life, let us entrust ourselves to the infinite power of creation, in which we find ourselves totally involved anywhere in the universe, unquote. He's saying here a lot of the struggles and afflictions that we have are due to invigilance. When I'm in vigilance about knowing of my worth and value, when I go throughout my days, which there will be days we will all do this, and it's ups and downs. The step ladder to the kingdom of God is a ladder, but within that step, there's ups and downs, ups and downs. Hopefully, the net result is a somewhat slope upwards, incline upwards to meet the master one day. But he's saying vigilance, mental vigilance, speaking without thinking, doing things without pondering, going through our days in the daily busyness of existing, being afflicted because we're not mindful and unable to break it down, breathe, see if it align, our actions and decisions align with our daily lives. And he says, let us entrust ourselves to whom? To the infinite power of creation, in which we find ourselves totally immersed and involved. Anywhere in the universe, the laws are the same. You are immersed in God's love. You are immersed in divine providence. And that divine providence is what we need to rely upon, because divine providence is God's care for all creatures anywhere in the world. That includes you, dear friend, we're here today to learn so that you can use these teachings in your daily life. He says, there is no insoluble questions for divine providence. Within such principle, we learn to meet the commitments that circumstances reserve for us without overestimating or underestimating the events that surround us. So let's look at what the problems that life is bringing us as the lessons we talked about. And then we say, don't overestimate and make a big deal out of things, but not underestimate the events and dismiss them. So true balance of, why am I here? Why is this supposed to teach me? What are the steps that I can do towards myself and others so that we can all grow together? It says uplifting balance and productive patience. Often affliction is our own anxiety, respectable but useless, projected into the future, mentalizing less fortunate occurrences, which in many cases do not occur as we suppose, sometimes did not even occur. Unquote, he's saying. Sometimes we create our afflictions because we are neither in the present, we are always projecting what could be in the future, or remembering what happened. And then we are afflicted that we are not fulfilling the mission that we came here to do. Because today, I'm here presenting this to you. Hopefully you have a minute or two to join and pay attention and be immersed in this. What matters right now? Nourishing your soul. This translation is given to us with the blessing of the good spirits, with their inspiration. The Spirit Society Richmond's team has translated and revised this so we can be together today. And then we spread the good news through the collaboration with Kardec Radio. So what's important right now is that I nourish my soul. Because the soul in this incarnated on this body, my spirit is imperishable. What I learn and how I learn, I take with me. My physical body will remain, and we don't know how many more minutes we have left. So right now is when we need to find the support and guidance within us so that we can move forward and serve others. So let's finish it up with Emmanuel. He says, quote, in summary, let us know how to love without the burden of attachment, to serve without demanding recognition, forgive without presenting bills of supposed superiority, and act for the good without any amount of irritability or excitement. Let us refrain from adding the shadow of restlessness to the processes of life, which allows for the indispensable moral work, and faithfully dedicate ourselves to the execution of the duties which life assigns to us. Let us surrender the complications of the world to the intervention and criterion of God's wisdom. Dear friends, this is the message for today. Whatever difficulties we have, whatever problems we have, we entrust God and divine providence, God's care for us, that we will find the inspiration, the help, the support that we need to find the solutions to those problems, because those problems are lessons in which we are acquiring experiences, abilities, new ways of being that renew the old woman or man inside of us, and to birth the new human inside of us, to birth a kinder, indulgent, nicer, happier being in the future. May the blessings of God be with you today. May the good spirits find in your heart a vessel through which God can flow. I hope that between now and the next time we meet, you are able to stay well, stay safe, taking care of yourselves and others. And until then, many, many blessings, dear friends. Thank you for joining us.